Hello, everybody. Welcome to our chat party presented here by Smart of our game at hand here at the FIBA Asia Cup held in Saudi Arabia. We have the match between the Philippines and Chinese Taipei. Welcome, everybody, to our chat party. My name is Rain Tigzon.
And I'm Melissa Newsome.
And we are going to give you our first game today. So earlier today, there was a match between New Zealand and Iraq where New Zealand won the game. But now we are going to see the first showing of these two teams. Melissa, I'm so excited for this match. Not just because, of course, we're here in the Philippines, but also because this is a very testy situation between these two teams.
Yes, both of these teams belong to Group D. We have the Philippines, Chinese Taipei, New Zealand, and Iraq. And each team, if you're not familiar with the format yet, each team will play the other teams in their group in a single round robin format. So each and every one of these games are going to be crucial. And the second place and third place teams of each group will play in qualification to the quarterfinals. So again, this first game, we're going to see a lot of first game jitters. These teams aren't unfamiliar with each other as they've played each other quite a few times in previous tournaments.
Yeah, coincidentally, they have been together for, multiple tournaments, whether it's FIBA Asia qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers. You could really see somehow these two teams are always together. So it's really exciting to see how these teams will perform because they are well versed on each other. And actually, in the last three matchups between these two teams in the FIBA Asia Cup 2025 qualifiers, Taipei suddenly came out with a huge win, which was kind of unlike them because Chinese Taipei actually won in 2013. That was the last time they won against the Philippines. So you could really see how this, new brand of Chinese Taipei basketball is really going to challenge the Philippines as we start our matchup for today. Really exciting stuff we have here. First shot attempt is no good and a quick foul there from underneath.
Yes, Rain. And to your point, Chinese Taipei is currently ranked 12th in the FIBA Power Rankings, whereas the Philippines is ranked 8th. But however, we've seen what Chinese Taipei can do in the past, last time they faced up against each other. So you can't take them lightly or underestimate them. So it's going to be an exciting game today.
Absolutely. I mean, Chinese Taipei, I feel like, is a team where, they might not be as strong on paper, but you'd be surprised with the quality of basketball that they play, especially against, teams that are supposed to be ranked higher than them. So it's a really interesting situation here because, again, the last time these two teams met, Chinese Taipei actually won. But before that, 2013, so that was 15 years ago. Sorry. Am I getting my math right? No, 8 years ago, sorry, was the last time that Chinese Taipei actually won. So you could see that could be either be, the prize recruits like, the brothers here, sorry, I am losing.
The Hinton brothers.
The Hinton brothers. There you go. The Hinton brothers.
I'm so excited to see these two.
Me too, especially because, we have a lot of Div 1 caliber players like AJ Edu in the Philippines, and Dwight at one point was part of the NCAA also. So I'm excited to see how this translates because of this younger squad. And just like that, a shot there by Robert.
Yes, now we're tied at 2-2 apiece. And we'd like to just remind everyone that if you're looking for a live stream of the game, you could broadcast it at Filipinas Live, One Sports, One Sports Plus, and PBA Rush.
Yeah, so this specific
if you wanna chop
platform.
So if you want to chop it up or if you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section for us.
Yes, this specific platform is really just, for us to have a little bit of chatting going on. I'm sure yung mga iba dyan, wala nang kausap kasi 2 a.m. na. So this is really for us to, hang out, watch the game together, As you see here, 2-all is our score with 8:25 remaining here in the first quarter.
And you know, Rain, that saying, basketball for breakfast, I feel like everyone in the Philippines is really taking that literally today because, again, it's 2 a.m. right now, but all the fans are up supporting Gilas and supporting this whole FIBA Asia Cup because this is a lot for them. This tournament only happens every 4 years, so it's very exciting.
True. I honestly don't think may mga natulog dito. I feel like a lot of people stayed up for this. I think not a lot of people have any nap here.
How about you, Rain? Did you take a nap today before this?
Of course I did. I wanted to be fresh here because I wanted to see how this game turns out. And in all honesty, I don't know how this game will turn out. Because as much as we want to say, like, oh, the Philippines is the better team, you know, in terms of ranking, Chinese Taipei just gave us an upset. So I can't really predict where we're going with this.
If there's one thing I could tell you is that the Philippines will need to limit their turnovers because I personally believe that is how Chinese Taipei escaped with that win. I believe the Philippines had 17 turnovers in that qualifiers match, and Chinese Taipei really capitalized on that.
Mm-hmm. And both of these teams, I mean, the last time that they met, had relatively equal field goal percentages, so it's more about, you know, lessening their mistakes, no, Mel?
Yes, definitely. And at this stage, you want to play flawless basketball because all these teams are great at capitalizing on each other's mistakes. They fend for that.
For sure.
But we see here in this first quarter, it's very low scoring. So both of these teams still trying to get warmed up.
You could really see these two teams probably are also kind of adjusting to the time because Chinese Taipei and the Philippines have the same time zone and they're playing right now in Saudi Arabia, which is way advanced in terms of time. So I'm sure that's something that's affecting these players.
Yes, for sure, definitely. Not only do they have to get their sleep patterns, but also their body in terms of getting on that court when they're usually sleeping right now. So it's a big adjustment for both teams.
Absolutely. And again, for those in our comment section right now, unfortunately, we cannot stream the live here, but we are going to keep you busy. I'm sure a lot of you guys are watching on the Pilipinas Live app, One Sports, One Sports Plus, and the PBA Rush. So hopefully you guys have that tuned in. I have that tuned in right now, and I'm also here in our live stream just to get some thoughts out. Air your thoughts here. You know, we want to hear from you guys what you think about this match at hand. And right now, our game is at a 1-point advantage here for Chinese Taipei with 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Make that a 3-point advantage there after the shot by Chen.
That is one thing Chinese Taipei also did very well last time these two teams matched up. Their 3-point shooting, they were very hot from the arc.
Melissa, I'm curious here. Is this just, you know, the brand of basketball of these two teams? Because it seems like there have been a lot of calls already. Considering, you know, we've only played 3 minutes of basketball. There's already 3 each for each squad.
Yep. And sometimes that depends on the refs, you know, and the players have to take note of that. The refs' style and how they're going to call the game. So we could see early on the refs are going to be calling a lot of physical calls. So the players have to adjust quickly in order to get their game going. Because when you have all this stoppage, it's very hard to keep to get your flow. And I think that's why we have a very low scoring first quarter here.
But a 5-point lead this time around for Chinese Taipei. 7-2 is our score here. Bettis couldn't cut it down. Bodies on the floor, and again another call there. And that's gonna be against Chris.
Hey, I know that guy.
I wonder why.
For those of you who don't know, that is my kuya, my older brother.
Yes.
Do you think we look alike? I get told we look like twins.
I genuinely thought you guys were twins the first time I met you guys. That was crazy.
But of course, I'm cuter, right?
So 7-2 is our
pause.
score here. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Thanks,
But
Rain.
here very supportive friend. Oh, another call here from below. Philippines is now in the penalty situation.
Wow.
And look at the face
Very
of Justin
early.
Brownlee. He's in disbelief.
Yeah.
Sorry,
like I
that call
said,
is going
Rain,
to be
the
against
players-
us again.
Yep, the players are gonna have to adjust quickly. Because you could see by their faces they're in disbelief, but again, right from the jump ball, you knew how the refs were going to call this game. So it's on the players now to make that adjustment.
And I feel like anytime it's a FIBA game, there's kind of there's a perception on how things are usually called. I mean, FIBA allows a little bit more physicality. They're very technical with their calls because, I mean, here in the Philippines, usually whenever there are calls, you know, everyone's trying to flail their arms and everything, but have a little bit of breathing room. Unlike here in FIBA, talagang eagle eye yung mga referees natin.
Yeah. Very true. Every league is different, but this league isn't unfamiliar territory to either of these teams. So I'm sure they know the style, and that went into all their preparation coming into today.
And it's a 6-point advantage now for Chinese Taipei. 5:45 remaining here in the first quarter. And you can see they're trying to activate their bigs. They've gone to Edu multiple times and Junmar.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, it's not really clicking here. But those mid-rangers by Chinese Taipei is crazy. Chen, 3 out of 4 already.
Not a great start for the Philippines. That forces them to call this timeout. A lot of adjustments need to be made.
And Melissa, do you think that Chinese Taipei is riding the high of winning that previous game?
Oh, definitely. I was actually watching that game, and even me, I could feel that the momentum was in Chinese Taipei's favor. And if they bring that same energy into this game today, it shows in the score right now, 10-2.
Such a deadly squad with so many crucial additions. I mean, the Hinton brothers is really a force to be reckoned with. And, you know, in the Philippines, we're supposed to have the same caliber where they're young players and then they're very talented. But, you know, Chinese Taipei, parang you never know what's in their back pocket eh.
Yeah. And teams like that are the most dangerous. So, again, the Philippines can't underestimate them. But we've seen the Philippines come back from deficits like this. It's still early in the game, so not counting them out yet.
But they do have to shape up quick as they are down by 8 midway through our first quarter. A lot of calls not going their way. And that, again, as you mentioned, has to be an adjustment by Coach Tim.
Yep. Yes, Chris Newsome already with 2 personal fouls early in the game, so they're going to have to play without his presence for a while. And Justin Brownlee with the only points as of right now for the Philippines.
And you can see here Dwight Ramos on that ISO. Oh, but a quick follow-up there. That basket is good. And that's going to be for Justin Brownlee.
Justin Brownlee now with all of the points. And that's just typical Justin Brownlee right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's to be expected. Knowing
Yes.
Justin. But it's good that, you know, he kind of finds his flow here. The problem is who's gonna step up with him? Because as we all know, you know, Justin needs a lot of help. I mean, as much as he thinks he can do everything on his own, talagang someone needs to step up on the side of the Philippines. Meanwhile, Chinese
It can't be
Taipei,
him alone.
absolutely. And Chinese Taipei, Ying Chun Chen really just heating up 75%, 3 out of 4 shots, along with some free throws there. So this team has a lot of talent that you think you scouted very well, but then you just can never tell in this kind of matchup.
Most definitely. And we see that's one thing from the last game as well. Chinese Taipei really stepped up in terms of bench points. And we're seeing that today because all their players on the court and that are subbing in are contributing in different ways.
Again, another shot
But
was
Justin
good by Justin
Brownlee.
Brownlee.
Signature move right there. It's so beautiful to watch.
But the answer back there, that was tough by Thielen. And can I just say,
Answering back
Chinese Taipei is
quickly.
really moving as one unit, huh?
Yes, they are. They're playing beautiful
see-
basketball right now.
Absolutely. And you can see, here in the Philippines, there's this term na nangangapa. Parang, you can see that the Philippines is trying to find their footing here. But Chinese Taipei, absolutely beautiful basketball they're showing here.
Yes, and if you're Chinese Taipei, one thing you want to continue to do is balloon this lead. Because again, Philippines is capable of closing that gap quickly in just a few runs.
Yeah, definitely. But more or less the same players here by the Philippines. Justin Brownlee with all of the points so far. 4 out of 6 already with 8 on the board.
And I'm sure Chinese Taipei is going to toughen up their defense on Justin Brownlee because when a player has all the points, you really have to stop him.
Gadiaga though, Mohamed Gadiaga gets his first 3-pointer in. That's the first basket attempt for him. And he has a tough matchup having to guard Justin Brownlee.
Yes. And this is going to be another interesting matchup. Junmar down in the paint.
And he's going up against Brandon Gilbeck. And at that moment, Gilbeck did get the best of him. So it's still a 10-point advantage here for Chinese Taipei. The Philippines already in the penalty situation, and they got there quite early, actually.
Yeah. So that could work to the advantage of Chinese Taipei. If they continue to be aggressive, they could get easy points from the line.
Gilbeck one-on-one with Junmar. And another called from down under. That's going to be against Fajardo.
Like I
Look
said,
at that,
this
such
right
a
here is
veteran
going to be,
move by Gilbeck.
Yep. Seeing Gilbeck and Fajardo going against each other is going to be interesting. Battle
That's
in the
going to be a
paint.
tough matchup.
It
They're going to be
is.
so tired after this game. Look, a lot of fans there, huh? In Saudi Arabia. Kind of feels like a home game there.
And it's always nice to see fans in the stands. As a former player, when you travel, you're on the road. Sometimes it's a bit tough, but when you look up and see your fans supporting you, that's your extra motivation.
Absolutely. A 12-point advantage this time around. Justin Brownlee, the only player with points on the board. That shot by Aftana is still not good there. You can see Chinese Taipei on the run. Stop and pop. Basket drops. What a shot there by Yi Chun Chen.
Chinese Taipei absolutely hot from the 3-point range. They are 3 of 4, have only missed 1 3-pointer so far.
And this is dangerous territory we are in as Filipinos. Because this is almost reminiscent, right, Mel? From the last time that these two teams went up against each other.
Correct. And as of recent, the Philippines had a farewell game before they left to Saudi Arabia, and it was very much played out like this. The Macau Black Bears were ahead, but after that halftime, the Philippines came back. So nothing's impossible, but Chinese Taipei playing absolutely flawless right now.
Adam Hinton adding to the tally of Chinese Taipei. 25-8 is the score. And that also talks about how good the defense has been, as Scotty Thompson finally gets some points on the board. The first one after Justin Brownlee here for the Philippines to get a bucket.
And I like what you said, Ray, the defensive aspect of Chinese Taipei as well. They're not only playing beautiful offense, but just as well connected on defense, which is making it hard for the Philippines to score right now.
And you can see also, I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like Chinese Taipei is encouraging a lot of contact because they know that the Philippines plays, kind of rough, kind of scrappy.
Mm-hmm.
And the referees
and that's just smart
won't let
basketball
that go.
too. Yeah, and that's smart basketball too, knowing that they're already in the penalty. Like I said, you could have easy points every time. So if I was Chinese Taipei, I would keep driving to the basket.
And the free throws falling in here. So 27-10 now is our score, a 17-point advantage for Chinese Taipei. Brownlee kicks it over. The shot is still no good there. Shot clock winding down. Justin Brownlee rejected there by Gilbeck. Three-pointer on the way and finally falls in here. That's the first three-pointer here for Calvin Oftana.
And that's got to be a relief for the Philippines, just seeing the ball go through the hoop.
Missed shot there. Final 30 seconds here. Ramos couldn't get it to fall in. And Gilbeck from down under is such a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. And we just like to shout out to Babak Bagiri watching from Toronto, Canada, supporting Gilas all the way from Canada. Like you said, Rain, we have fans all over.
Filipinos all over the globe. Hey, Babak!
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for supporting here. The national team of the Philippines as they're playing catch-up basketball here for the final few seconds in the first quarter. Three-point attempt is no good. It was straight but short.
And just 1.3 seconds left in this first quarter. Chinese Taipei absolutely dominating this quarter. Currently leading 27-13.
And Melissa, I know it's too early for that first quarter analysis, but what do you think went right here on the side of Chinese Taipei?
Everything went right, honestly. They came out right from the jump ball and they're playing as one. They seem to know where each other is going to be before it even happens. And you could tell they came into this game well prepared, well scouted. Their energy's high. And so not much has gone wrong for Chinese Taipei right now.
Absolutely. And stats-wise, they're 5 of 7 from the 2-point range, 3 of 7 from the 3. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Currently at 8 of 14.
I believe Justin Brownlee just hit a
one.
buzzer beater. Will
Yes,
that
he
count,
did.
though?
Is the big question, of course.
And that's a good momentum shift for the Philippines heading in as you wrap up this first quarter. If that basket does count from Justin Brownlee, that's a great momentum shift that they could use in their favor.
But look at the disparity of the field goal shooting. You could really see that Chinese Taipei was either more aggressive or luckier or both. You know, you could really see the difference between these two teams as we head on over to the second quarter. Chinese Taipei shooting at 57%. Meanwhile, the Philippines still struggling to find their footing. They only shot 7 out of 20. Lucky for them that buzzer beater by Justin Brownlee was counted at the last second.
And you talked about disparities, Rain. Chinese Taipei has already gone to the free throw line 10 times. They are 8 of 10 from the free throw line. So again, those personal fouls are coming to catch up to the Philippines.
Absolutely. And we've seen early on how it's also limiting minutes for some players. So sayang naman, diba? It's something that the Philippines really needs to adjust as they're coming in to the second quarter. Again, 27-16 is our scoreline here at the end of the first 10 minutes. And something I find pretty interesting, Melissa, is that the Philippines is actually leading in the boards.
Yes.
So even if we feel like Chinese type... Go, sorry.
No, I was saying that's good that they're dominating somewhere because, again, they're struggling offensively, but when you could grab those boards, that could lead you to second chance points. So it's nice to see them leading 12-8 in that category.
And hopefully it turns into baskets because that has been the problem right now of the Philippines. Meanwhile, Chinese Taipei seems like there's no problem at all.
Yeah. Now, can they keep up that same intensity, the same energy throughout all remaining quarters? That will be the question.
Look at that
shot. And for those of you joining us, those of you just now joining us, this is the start of the second quarter. Again, this is the chat party presented by Smart.
Yes, and if you want to watch our broadcast, of course, you can catch it on the PBA Rush One Sports Plus, and the Pilipinas Live app. Again, this is your space to talk about the game at hand, which is, of course, the FIBA Asia Cup. And our game today is between Chinese Taipei and the Philippines, where the Philippines is playing catch-up basketball, but slowly being chipped away by none other than Justin Brownlee, of course.
But we see
at this point, I'm not surprised anymore.
Chinese, yeah, right? But Chinese Taipei still hot from the three-point range, draining another three.
And look at that quick steal there. And that's going to be awarded again to Ying Chun Cheng. But the counter steal here and the shot finally falls in. Again, it's Justin Brownlee. I'm not surprised anymore.
I was going to say, guess who? None other than Justin
I think I can
Brownlee.
Close my eyes. I know already. It's probably going to be Brownlee.
So what Philippines already coming out strong. Yep. Just when I think Justin Brownlee can't get more amazing, he does something like that. And then I'm just like, wow,
I know, right?
What a player.
And how old is he? Like 35, 36? I have to search this one.
Let's fact check that before we age him.
before he comes after us. 1988. So he's 37.
See? I would have never guessed that. Still playing like he's in his prime.
And in all honesty, what I like about Justin also is that every year it seems like he has more skills added to his bag. And like at a player at that caliber, at that level, at that age, usually they rely on whatever they're good at already. But Justin Brownlee is just the type of player where you could really see he wants to keep improving. He still wants to keep, impressing people or adding to his game.
He's like a sponge. He just continues absorbing stuff, learning things, and adding it to his bag, like you said. So he's absolutely a nightmare for other teams to guard. I'm pretty sure when Justin Brownlee steps foot onto that court, other teams are not happy.
Absolutely. 3-point attempt was too strong. A rebound here by Brownlee. It's just a 9-point disadvantage this time for Gilas.
You see how quickly things can turn around. Just the start of the second quarter. And if you look, Gilas is actually 9 of 24 from the field. Brownlee himself is 7 of 12, right?
That's insane.
Yep. So he's taken half of Gilas' shots right now.
This is
Which
gonna be a
again
crucial
isn't super
basket
surprising.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not super surprising because we know Justin Brownlee to for the ball to be in his hands a lot of the times. They run things through Justin Brownlee a lot.
And you can see Gilbeck is winded. He has a tough task at hand guarding both Junmar and Justin Brownlee.
I would be winded as well.
I don't think I even have the lungs to do what they do.
Yeah. But interestingly enough, the two top rebounders right now in this game are Gilbeck, not so surprising. You would think it was a big for the Philippines. It's actually, can you guess?
Scotty.
No.
Is it?
None other than Justin Brownlee. Doing it all.
God. This guy needs to have a good breakfast and dinner. Yep. He deserves it all. Look at that. Classic Scotty Thompson. I've seen that so many times in Ginebra.
And how interesting is it to see all these players come from different teams and then come to the national team and then just connect instantly.
And I mean, Melissa, you kind of have inside information. Is it difficult? Because I mean, a lot of these players play with each other, you know, in scrimmages or even in the national team. But coming into a competition like this, how difficult is it for them actually?
It's a different adjustment, but more often times than not, it's actually nice when you get to play against each other and then they're on your team and now you could use their skill set. So the things you hated about that player now become things you love about them because they're on your side now. So it's a pretty, I don't want to call it an easy adjustment, but with the preparation and whatnot, they could click easily.
Interesting. Look at that, Carl Tamayo, all under. Ooh, a little bit of heat there. And of course, I'm not surprised the Philippines is so animated.
Yeah. And I like to see that fight in Chinese Taipei. Taipei as well. That fight is in them back. They're willing to step up to the challenge.
Because again, the Philippines is so physical. And Chinese Taipei isn't really known for that. So the mere fact that they're going head to head is so, it's so crucial for them, such a crucial adjustment. And I'm sure it's unlike them to play this way. So it's nice that the two of them are really battling it out here. But right now, the Philippines is getting the upper hand in this quarter specifically.
Yeah, the Philippines outscoring Chinese Taipei 8-3 in this second quarter.
And as you mentioned, Melissa, flow is so important in these kinds of competitions because, all of the teams are talented. All of the teams have, they have advantages over the other. But then who clicks enough, who, adjusts to the court, to the time. There's so many different factors that can affect this kind of game.
Correct. So we're going to see, again, who's going to adjust quickly and who's going to execute. That's the other thing. Execution is key. But Chinese Taipei hanging in there with this lead. Now 32-26.
Great shot there. And Hinton is really
Offensive
someone
board.
I'm so interested in his development.
Yep. We already see that hunger in him, like getting that O board right there and then putting it back up against there was almost three Gilas players under the basket.
Yeah.
And Hinton still got that O board.
But you can see he's really young. You can really see that his decision making is something that he can polish over the years, but it's a good thing he's surrounded by a lot of veteran guards. That's gonna be crucial in his development, especially now that he's playing international basketball.
Yes, international basketball is so different from college, Division I, particularly in the States. So this tournament is going to be good experience for him to bring back home as well.
Great stop there by Gilas. They're hoping to cut things down here. Scotty so far is perfect in all his attempts. Carl Tamayo can't get that one in. And it's a rebound here for Taipei. Halfway through the second quarter. And this quarter seems more like a back and forth, no? Between these teams.
In the first quarter, we had a lot of stoppage.
And also in the first quarter, if you're just tuning in, you could really see how Chinese Taipei just absolutely dominated as another basket falls in for Yi Chen. But you could really see how cohesive they played. You could see the chemistry between the players. And really, if it weren't for Justin Brownlee, this deficit would have been much larger for the side of the Philippines.
And just when I was about to say Chinese Taipei, they seem to have gone a little on a dry spell. They hit that 3-point shot, proving me wrong. Good thing I didn't say it, but I just outed myself by saying it.
And what's nice about Chinese Taipei, I feel like, at least right now with the way that they're playing, they don't seem too rattled. Like, usually you'd be a little concerned when your opponents are on a run, but they're really sticking to their system. They're trying to make some adjustments. But right now, their problem is actually the foul game.
Yes. And both teams just need to trust in their systems, like you said, Rain. I'm sure they've done their scouting reports, and they just have to see who has the hot hand. Unfortunately, for the Philippines, a lot of players on Chinese Taipei have the hot hand right now.
It's like, who do we guard in today's game? Because it's crazy the way that these guys on Chinese Taipei are shooting. I mean, just to mention off the bat the stats here for Chinese Taipei, Ting Chin Lin is 6 points. Ying Chun Chen 17 points. 6 out of 8. And he's perfect from the 3-point arc. So really, like, you're trying to stop Yi Chung Chen, and then Ting Chen Lin pops off. And then Muhammad Gadiaga pops off.
Yep.
It's so difficult to really focus on your defense on just one player.
Chinese Taipei is making it so hard for the Philippines.
I love the reaction of Robert Hinton. This is a young boy.
Let me just lay here for a minute. Let me lay here for a minute.
I need a breather.
And can we just talk about Ying Chun Chin right now? You said 17 points. 17 points in the first half, and the half's not done yet.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
But then again, he is going toe to toe with Justin Brownlee, who has 16 points. But the thing is, Justin Brownlee isn't getting that much help from his teammates. Chinese Taipei is helping Chun Chen a lot in this matchup. And that's the reason Chinese Taipei was able to get that lead.
Still waiting for other teammates to step up and help Brownlee on the side of the Gilas Filipinas.
AJ Edu trying to add a little bit of size to this roster here for Gilas Filipinas. Chris Newsom gets that basket in. And now it's a 6-point deficit. So they were able to cut that lead down so pretty quickly, huh?
Yeah, very quickly.
And you could see on your screens, 14-5 is the second chance points. So as you mentioned, Melissa, the rebounds have benefited them because in the half, the Philippines was actually leading in rebounds.
Yep, and those rebounds are providing them second chance points, other possessions as well.
AG Edu activated from the middle. And now it's a 4-point lead here. Again, as we mentioned, these two teams are so unpredictable. On paper, the Philippines is the stronger team, but Chinese Taipei just has so many players that are activated, specifically in this matchup. So you can really never tell who's going to get the advantage over the other. Justin Brownlee fires a long one, couldn't get it in. Still a 4-point advantage here for Chinese Taipei with 2:42 remaining.
Hinton again, just all over the place right now. Both offensively and defensively, getting a bucket for Chinese Taipei.
And in the first quarter, it was Ying Chun Chen who was heating up. Now it's Robert Hinton, as we expected.
Yeah. His energy right now, all over the court, draining a 3-point shot now. Just when the Philippines thought they were coming back. Yep.
Exactly. And you could see that he hyped himself up in that last basket. Great footwork there for Robert Hinton. And I swear, I love watching young guys play because they're so animated, they're so happy every time they get shots, there's celebrations. This TikTok generation.
And that energy is contagious. It's going to be contagious on the team. As I said, Chinese Taipei, they've extended their lead now just when the Philippines was coming back, and that's credited to Robert Hinton.
Absolutely. 41-32 now is the score, a 9-point advantage for Chinese Taipei with 1:07 remaining in our game clock here at the first half. Again, just to remind you guys, our top scorers so far for Chinese Taipei is Ying Chun Chen, who really popped off in the first quarter, and Robert Hinton already has 10. A lot of those shots made here in the second quarter. And on the side of the Philippines, Justin Brownlee leading the scoring with 16, but no other teammate has scored over 10 points here for the Philippines. So it has been a Brownlee show through and through.
And where the Philippines is excelling right now is when Chinese Taipei does miss their shots. That's where the Philippines is getting their rebounds. And that's where a lot of their second opportunities are coming from. And
it seems like there's something wrong with the game clock. So Let's rely now on the top of the board. So we're down to our final minute here in the first half. 40 seconds remaining. Shot attempt is no good. The rebound here. CJ Perez. He's so mad.
CJ
With Brandon
frustrated.
He feels like he got the ball there. Brandon
Yeah.
Gilbeck sold that really well though.
And that's a tough job to do. Gilbeck got that rebound with 3 Gilas players around him.
And I like that hindi niya iniiwas. You could see that he's really trying to absorb the contact. He's not afraid of getting down and dirty. You know, you could really see that he's not afraid of these contacts because, I mean, at least my theory is he knows that he's a good free throw shooter. So if you foul him, that's no problem.
Yep. And that's a good skill to have when you're a post player and you know you're going to get fouled and you could head to the line and knock down those free throws. And Gilbeck has been really good at that.
So it seems that there was a time adjustment here. 33.1 is our official time here. Final 30 seconds of the second quarter. 43-32 is our score. Chinese Taipei on a run. AJ Edu setting up Brownlee, going down. And there's going to be a foul on Gilbeck.
And Dwight Ramos is going to head to the line. Dwight, very quiet here in this game today.
Actually, unusually quiet in this matchup.
I know, Dwight Ramos, a fan favorite here in the Philippines.
Saint Dwight. Japet Aguilar checking in for the first time for Gilas Pilipinas. One of the longtime veterans here. I have been watching Japet since probably I was grade school.
Wow.
And it's crazy to see. Yeah, because he was part of the 2014 team that beat Korea. Also
I was gonna
here
say,
in FIBA.
how has his game changed? From like,
For Japet?
is he still the same Japeth and just his skills developed, or how would you
In
say?
all
Can
honesty,
you remember back then when you were watching him?
I can, because I remember every time he would get a dunk, I would jump up and down and scream all over our house. No, but in all honesty, the thing that I'm more impressed about is how his game maintained. Because he's such a high flyer, he's such an athletic player, and being part of Gilas for over 10 years and maintaining that is so impressive. Because I feel like Japet is the type of player that barely slowed down, which is so impressive, again, not just because he's a big, but also because he's an athletic big specifically. So honestly, I'm a fan of Japet. I
Yeah.
clip that. I'm a fan of Japet.
I believe we
But
have
this guy
lots
on
of
your
fans
screen.
of Japeth, especially coming from Ginebra.
The OG Gilas fans will all know this.
Yep. See, only 15 seconds left. Let's see what Chinese Taipei is able to execute.
This is so funny. One of the comments on YouTube from FIBA V. I wasn't aware of your game, Taiwan. I don't think Gilas was aware too. I think they got caught off guard.
I love that
The
comment.
buzzer beater doesn't fall in here on the side of Chinese Taipei. But a great showing here by Chinese Taipei and also by the Philippines. I mean, even if they were playing catch-up basketball in the second quarter, you could really see that, you know, a little bit there were glimpses already of like what they can bring, and if they're able to sustain that, in the game, then you know, it might
Yeah.
actually be a positive outcome. We're not saying that it's going to be a win, but you know, it might be a closer game at the very least.
Yes. And like you said, Rain, both teams played well. Both teams
Mhm.
also can adjust. And I think that's why we saw such a competitive first half. I'm excited for the second half and what these teams will adjust heading into. But we see one main thing where Chinese Taipei was excelling in is those free throws. And we knew that early on when the Philippines was already in foul trouble in that first quarter.
Absolutely. But again, Yi Chung Chen carrying Chinese Taipei on his back. And
Yep.
I think what's so impressive about Yi Chung Chen also is that he got it off the tip. I mean, there was no walang kaba, there was no rust, there was no nerves. It was just like, I'm here to
Yep.
hoop. And he really showed that, ending with 17 points, 6 out of 9 from the field. That is insane numbers
Hmm.
considering he only played 15 minutes so far.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an efficient player right there. And
Mhm.
you were saying you're a Japeth Aguilar fan. I'm a Ying Chun Chin fan now. You
Mhm.
could clip that.
That makes two of us. So true. And also Robert Hinton. I mean, 4 out of 6 from the field. Young guy, he has a lot to learn here, but he also has
Mhm.
a lot to show because of his NCAA experience. I'm sure he is well prepared, being one of the
Mhm.
young guns here for Chinese Taipei.
I am excited to see what Robert Hinton brings out in this second half. We've only begun to touch the surface of what this kid can do.
And let's just get a quick recap here on the games today. So, Group D also played earlier today. That was again between New Zealand and Iraq. New Zealand getting the better of that, 178. But Group C also played. Jordan won over India 91-84, and China won over Saudi Arabia, our hosts here, 93-88. And it's very interesting again because I remember in 2022, the Philippines was also in the same bracket as New Zealand and Chinese
Mhm.
Taipei. So again, there's a level
Yep.
of familiarity. Yes, there are players coming and going every year, every competition, but more or
Yep.
less these coaches know how to coach against each other. And I
Mhm.
think, Melissa, this that should make a perfect recipe for just good basketball, huh?
Yep. Like again, these teams aren't unfamiliar with each other. Not only this match at hand, but like you said, New Zealand, Philippines, Chinese Taipei, they've all played each other. They're very familiar with each other's playing styles. So it makes each game interesting to watch and entertaining because you're looking for what each team is going to bring new to the table.
Mm-hmm. And you can also see your stats here on the screens. Rebounds and assists being led by the Philippines. So the Philippines is moving the ball a lot more. But then rebounds is kind of tricky also because the Philippines have been missing a lot of shots. And they have been getting most of their points from that second chance opportunity. So maybe let's not rely too much on the stats in terms of rebounds.
Yeah. Stats can be deceiving. That's why a lot
Sorry, you got cut off there. What did you say?
I said basketball is also about the intangibles as well.
Mhm.
So you can't rely too heavily on stats.
And the perfect example of you can't really rely on the stats is look at those free throws, 2-pointers, and 3-pointers. I mean, Chinese Taipei was just shooting the lights out of Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
And you could see they came in well prepared. You know that they prepared for against a better team. So they are playing,
Mm-hmm.
elevated basketball as well. They're trying to compete at a high level. And right now, they are outperforming Gilas Pilipinas 43-34.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see our shot chart here also being flashed on your screens. Most of the shots of the Philippines are kind of scattered around. There were a few 3-pointers that fell in. But look at Chinese Taipei. How they really,
Yeah.
pack the paint. You could really see that they're working as hard. Oh, sorry, the other way around. The Chinese Taipei is the one that's scoring a little more spread out, while the Philippines is getting
Mm-hmm.
most of their buckets from down under.
Yep. And I think that's what's working well for Chinese Taipei. Like you said, it's really dispersed. And when you spread the court like that, it leaves other teammates open. Whereas we've seen the Philippines, other teammates are having a hard time finding their shots. So that's the difference between the two teams right now. Chinese Taipei is playing more spread out versus the Philippines, who is limiting themselves by making the court smaller for themselves.
And that's also, the effect of our shooters kind of having a hard time finding their shots in. I mean, Calvin Oftana, Dwight Ramos, even Chris Newsome, they're kind of finding their footing in today's matchup. So they would go to the old reliable Justin Brownlee to give them some buckets, which is why you could see in the shot chart that it was a little more concentrated on the spots where Justin Brownlee really operates in.
What we see, this is only the first game for these two teams under Group D. Like you mentioned, New Zealand won earlier against Iraq. And again, each and every one of these games moving forward will matter, because for those unfamiliar with the way this tournament is formatted, each team will play the other teams in their group in a single round robin format. And the group winner will gain direct access to the quarterfinals. So of course, you want to rack up all the wins you can get in this group phase. So this game today is very important for momentum moving forward.
Absolutely. And right now, the Philippines playing catch up basketball, Chinese Taipei getting ahead early on. So, just going back to the history between these two teams, the Philippines has had an upper hand for the past 8 years. Just as they thought they were already going to conquer the very top, Chinese Taipei knocks them off their feet. As the last time these two teams met, Chinese Taipei wins 91-84 just earlier this year. So that's what me and Melissa were talking about at the start of the broadcast. Chinese Taipei is bringing this momentum, this confidence of knowing that, hey, we beat this team before. So you could really see how the players are playing with so much finesse, with so much confidence, and it's really exciting in this type of matchup.
Yeah. And if you missed that qualifying game when these two teams matched up against each other, I suggest going on YouTube and watching it, because it was just absolutely electrifying. Feeling the momentum shift during that game and seeing how inspired Chinese Taipei was playing. It was just good basketball, and I love games like that. And I love teams like that as well, that are bringing something new to the table each and every time they take on the court.
Absolutely. Again, the Philippines has the upper hand, ranking wise, because the Philippines is ranked 6th in the FIBA Power Rankings, but in the FIBA World Rankings, they are 34th. Meanwhile, Chinese Taipei was ranked 12th in the FIBA Power Rankings, but in the Worlds, they are at the 73rd. So that's kind of a big disparity here.
Yeah.
And actually, these two teams in 2022 both did not place. They missed the quarterfinals. The Philippines specifically missed it for the first time in 15 years. So you can see these two teams are really hungry for that win because they want to avenge that 22 no show in the playoffs. So
Yep.
it's a different level of hunger you could see here. That's why these two teams absolutely battling it out in the first two quarters. As you see, the players are back on the floor here. Again, Chinese Taipei with the advantage, 43-34. Excellent basketball being shown by Ying Chun Chen and Robert Hinton, as we both expected in today's matchup.
And again, if you're just joining us, this is the chat party. So we want to hear from you guys as well. Before we start this second half, I'd like to hear what are your second half predictions and who do you think will shine for both teams here in the second half?
Absolutely,
How about
because
you, Rain?
we've seen a lot of Justin Brownlee and Ying Chun Chen, but I think there's
Yep.
something about Robert Hinton's smile in that last shot that I think he's going to carry over to the third quarter. Because once, I don't know if it's just me and my bias, but once these kids start feeling it, they're really feeling it.
Yep. I think he's going to
But
be
on,
crucial heading into the second half. You're absolutely right, Rain. Like I said,
but on
energy
the
like
side of
that
the
is just
Philippines, Melissa,
contagious.
true, true. But on the side of the Philippines, Melissa, who do you think should at least step up?
I'd like to see Dwight Ramos step up. Like we mentioned, he's relatively quiet here in this game today, and we've seen what a difference he can make when he makes his presence felt on the court. You need to relieve some of that pressure off of Justin Brownlee because we've said it can't just be JB every single time. So if Dwight Ramos can get his game going, that could actually free up Justin Brownlee as well.
True. Dwight Ramos still no field goals so far in today's matchup. All of his 2-pointers came from the line. On my opinion, I think I want to see Scotty. Because I feel like Scotty is the type that he brings a lot of energy into the team. And once you see him, kind of getting his flow, it kind of influences the younger players. Like, I feel like KQ, Kevin Kiambao, maybe even Calvin of Tana, CJ Perez will kind of feed off of the energy of Scotty Thompson. And as you mentioned, relieving Justin Brownlee, who better relieves Justin Brownlee than a rebounding guard?
Yep. And I like the two players you picked from both teams, actually, because as you're describing Robert Hinton and Scotty Thompson, although very different in age, their playing styles are the same. Scotty Thompson is
True.
an energy player, just like Hinton. And that could be all the difference in the game is players like those two. So that would be a cool matchup. I'd like to see those two go up against each other, actually.
A veteran going against a young gun, and then you have your two bigs who are really working down under. So interesting matchup we have here so far. And again, Chinese Taipei already beat Gilas, so they have the hard part out. They already beat them before. So I feel like the Philippines, honestly, is the one with the bigger burden to carry on their backs here, no?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Rain. And it's a lot harder to play catch up in a game than it is to play to keep a lead. So the Philippines is going to have to play with their back against the wall and come out into this third quarter guns hot.
Exactly. And it's not even just game-wise where the Philippines is playing catch-up. I mean, they have to avenge that last loss. Meanwhile, Chinese Taipei, no problem. I just gotta maintain whatever I did the last time. And they're the ones, on paper, they're the underdogs. So if they win this game, it's more impressive than anything else. I mean, it's gonna be such a heartbreak here for the Philippines, but it's also going to be such a shakeup in Group D here in the FIBA Asia Cup.
Yep. And in terms of power rankings, like we said, it's New Zealand and then the Philippines and then Chinese Taipei. So if you're Chinese Taipei, you want to take down one of those top two because if you know you could take
Exactly.
down one of those top two, it's on to the next and on to the next, and that just your momentum, your confidence only gets higher and higher.
And it's a bigger possibility of qualifying, getting at least one of those top guns, which is the
Correct.
Philippines and New Zealand. And again,
Absolutely correct.
they are playing here at the Group D for our FIBA Asia Cup 2025. And these two teams have two more games in the qualifiers. So the next game here for Chinese Taipei is going to be on Thursday, 7 p.m. Same time between Chinese Taipei and the Philippines. So August 7 is going to be against Iraq. And then August 10 is going to be against New Zealand. Meanwhile, the Philippines will be playing August 7, 11 p.m. against New Zealand and August 9 against Iraq. So they're just going to swap who they're going up against on the same day.
A lot of good basketball still ahead. And this is only the first game for these two teams.
Yeah. And we are going to begin our matchup here with Chinese Taipei and the Philippines. 43-34 is our score. A quick foul already called here against the Philippines with just 8 seconds being played. But there will be a challenge here.
Yep. I'm sure that's not the way you wanted to start the quarter, because was the issue in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why they are going to make use of their challenge here. Excuse me, Chinese Taipei is challenging.
And they seem to be challenging if it was a shot attempt, I think, Melissa?
Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like, yes.
So that is what they are challenging here. 43-34 is the score here. No shots yet, but a foul already called here against the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the hot hands in the first half for Chinese Taipei was Ying Chun Chen. That's jersey number 9 with 17 points. And Robert Hinton, jersey number 4 with 10 points. And for the Philippines, it was all Justin Brownlee, jersey number 32 with 16 points out of the 34 of the Philippines. Again, we welcome you here to our chat party, powered by Smart. If you want to watch our games, it's on the Pilipinas Live app, One Sports, One Sports Plus, and PBA Rush. This is just an avenue for you guys to get your thoughts out, to have a little community here. As I mentioned, Robert Hinton is going to be an interesting player in this second half.
You called it, Rain.
It's just something about his smirk, the way that he celebrated towards the end. I feel something different with this kid.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Justin Brownlee gets another
Justin
shot.
Brownlee, yeah. He banked that shot in from the short corner. And for people that have never played basketball, that's a tough shot to hit. And Justin Brownlee makes it look so seamless and effortless.
Again, we had to research how old Justin Brownlee is. And he is a whopping 37 years old. But my goodness, he plays like he's in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
Chinese Taipei executing their plays to perfection here. Another shot there. What a nice shot there by Brandon.
Yep. Gilbeck has absolutely been dominating down in the paint, grabbing those O boards, and then even better, getting that offensive foul. I mean, that foul, sorry. And he's heading to the line to shoot an extra free throw.
Mhm.
The
Brandon
3-point
Gilbeck.
play for Brandon Gilbeck.
Quite a difficult task for him, having to fight against this Philippine team that is always crashing the boards in a very aggressive way, if I may say.
Yep. He's been a powerhouse down in that paint, holding it down for Chinese Taipei.
Oh, and Melissa, look, Dwight Ramos gets that shot in. So that's your bet. Who has to heat up here? So we're 1-1 so far as Brandon Gilbert again gets another shot there.
We're doing pretty good, Rain.
Yeah. We're genuinely making good reads here.
We're fans of basketball. That's what we are.
Oh, AJ Edu, already his third foul early in the third quarter. 8:09 remaining.
And Brandon Gilbeck already visited the line twice early in this third quarter. He's being very aggressive, being strong, getting himself fouled.
And as you mentioned, Melissa, this is very reminiscent of the first quarter, right?
Yep. Yes, for those just now tuning in, earlier in the first quarter, the Philippines got in foul trouble quick, and that's where Chinese Taipei was able to gain an early lead.
Brandon Gilbeck not happy with that call. You could see on their faces as Justin Brownlee is now on the line. This is the first attempt though.
A rare miss for Justin Brownlee at the line.
And what's so impressive about Chinese Taipei, at least in my opinion, is that they're so quietly lethal. Like, you would be so shocked when you're watching them, because I mean the Philippines is very flashy. So like when they get their shots, you could really see how each shot impacts each player. But then Chinese Taipei just head down, playing basketball. Next thing you know, they're up by 17, they're up by 15. Because it's such a systematic type of basketball, wouldn't you say, Mel?
Yes, they're trusting in their system, and that progress is showing onto the court. It's translating well. And again, those are the teams that are the most dangerous, the quiet ones. Quiet but lethal. I like how you put it that way.
Hinton misses that shot there. 51-39 is our score here. The drive, Dwight Ramos off the glass and in. Dwight Ramos finally getting 2 field goals because prior to the second half, he was 0 out of 3.
Yeah. You could definitely see he's being intentional at being more aggressive here in this second half. I feel like Coach Tim Cohn might have told him something similar to what I was saying at halftime.
Okay, Coach Melissa. But look at that. That's the perfect example of the physicality that you can expect every time Gilas Pilipinas plays on the floor, which is why it's so challenging for the bigs of their opponents to really match that kind of energy. I mean, personally, as a player, I'd be afraid of that kind of contact. But then these bigs are really sacrificing their body just to keep up with them.
So much respect for all these players on the court, especially the bigs, like you said, just sacrificing their bodies to do what they need to do.
Don't look at Junmar running
they're on the
through. Junmar with a friendly bump on who. Oh, a steal here by Hinton. And look at Hinton. The way that he moves, it's so deceiving. His change of direction is really, really good. And that's going to be another foul down under.
It's that young body for Hinton. It's easy to get that on and off switch turned on.
But it's Cheng who's going to be taking these freebies. And there's Hinton on your screens. Coach Tim not happy with that. The Philippines is already in the penalty situation. Chinese Taipei with only one team foul.
We see this third quarter is more evenly matched than the first quarter. Chinese Taipei leading 10-7 here in this third quarter.
And again, here in our chat party powered by Smart, we are giving you an avenue to let out all your thoughts here in today's matchup. But if you want to watch the game, you can catch it on the Pilipinas Live app, One Sports, One Sports Plus, and the PBA Rush. And we're also tuned in on Pilipinas Live, watching our FIBA AsiaCup, the first game day of these two squads. Junmar Fajardo, fresh off of a championship, playing here in the FIBA AsiaCup. That is no easy feat.
No. But the way he's playing, you wouldn't have guessed that. You know, his body's tired. He's coming off of a long season. He's still playing fresh out there.
What a shot there by Chen. And he has bumped up his score now to 20 points. So Chen is leading the scoring for both teams in this matchup. Dwight Ramos escapes in the middle. So a little back and forth between these two teams. 56-43 is the tally, with over 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Oh, look at the way that Dwight went up for that one.
Yeah.
Coach Tim probably gave him
so much more aggressive, yeah.
Coach Tim probably gave him a lot of words during that halftime.
And down on the other end, Chris Newsom now being the aggressor, drawing a foul. So I think that was a point of emphasis at the halftime. The players need to be aggressive and draw fouls. You know, flip
Which
the
is
script like Chinese Taipei was doing to them.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. And as I mentioned, it was difficult on the side of Chris because he already had 2 fouls in the first quarter. So playing aggressively is kind of a gamble for him because you never know if these calls will go to your favor, or lucky for him, now it was against Chinese Taipei.
Yep. And that's a lot of trust coming from Coach Tim Cohn as well and his players, because you're skeptical on if you should give them more minutes because you don't want them to get further in foul trouble. But for Coach Tim Cohn to trust Chris that he will be smart about his fouls, play more smart, more lax, but still aggressive.
And it's a 12-point advantage here for Chinese Taipei. 5:22 remaining on the clock. Hinton back on the floor. Hinton couldn't get that one in. Kiambao is also here for the first time. Ooh, long range shot sinks in for Dwight Ramos. That was a good pick, Melissa.
Go Dwight.
If you're just tuning in, Melissa did predict that Dwight Ramos will be the game changer here in the second half. And so far, he has made an impact here for the Philippines. He already has 11 points, only 2 at the end of the second quarter. All 4 of his field goals coming in the third quarter. But unfortunately, the Philippines is still playing catch-up. And right now, Chinese Taipei is on the line. And that's going to be Ting Chen Lin. Lin actually is
And that's
also
one thing.
struggling quite a bit in terms of field goals. He's only 1 out of 5. Most of his shots have come
Yep.
from the free throw line.
Which that's a smart way to get points on the board. When you're struggling from the field, getting yourself to that line secures you easy points.
Dwight firing that three. Couldn't get it in. The rebound here by Fajardo. Kiambao this time around. Short. Battle for the rebound won by Lin.
And those 2 3-point attempts by the Philippines weren't unchallenged. Those were tough shots. So Chinese Taipei doing an excellent job at making it difficult for the Philippines.
Third foul this time for Chris. But as you mentioned, Melissa, it's really the defense of Chinese Taipei that has been winning them this game so far.
Yes, not only are they clicking offensively, playing excellent defense, making it hard for the Philippines to close this gap.
And you can see the concern on the face of Coach Tim. He's not happy with the way his boys are performing right now. As Chen continues to add to his tally here.
Yeah. Chen can easily have 30 in this game. He's already
absolutely.
at 23 points.
I wouldn't be surprised if he reaches 35 in all honesty.
Yep. If he keeps playing at the pace he's playing right now, 35. Easy.
Good find by Dwight. He found Kevin Kiambao just ready for that basket underneath.
Dwight, not only a scorer, but a facilitator as well.
Meanwhile, you can see Chen doing the same thing on the other end of the floor. Ooh, that's a great looking shot there for Ting Chen Lin.
He must have heard you, Rain. We were just talking about he was struggling from the field.
He's like, who's this Filipino that said I was struggling? Let me show her. Ooh,
Ooh, what a block.
Thank you. And you can see the Philippines is actively looking for Dwight, huh?
You have to find the hot hand.
And no Justin Brownlee on the floor, so these are important minutes for the Philippines. Those no Brownlee minutes. Some reaction shots here by the fans. Again, of course, the Filipino fans up on their feet, even if we're down by quite a margin.
No, still out supporting their team no matter the score. Now the Philippines making use of their challenge.
62-49 is the score right now. Still in favor of Chinese Taipei. And actually, other than the first 10 seconds of this ball game, the Philippines still hasn't led in this matchup. So Chinese Taipei really taking care of the lead, even if it gets chipped away. You could see that they're not pressing the panic button, as they were up by as much as 17. And then when the lead went down to 4, you could really see that they stayed disciplined. You could see that they really took care of each possession, which is why they are still with the lead here in this matchup.
And this is exactly reverse of when these two teams met up in the Asia Cup qualifiers, because it was the Philippines that led by as much as 13 points in that game. and there was actually 12 lead changes. And Chinese Taipei's biggest lead was only 2 then. But now the roles have completely reversed, and it seems like Chinese Taipei is the one that's holding the lead for a majority of this game, or has held this lead.
And it's probably because of the confidence that they gained from that game. I mean, winning for the first time in 7 years is no easy feat.
I wonder what they must have felt after that game. Like the raw emotions
locker room.
you saw.
Yeah, that locker room should have been electric, I'm pretty sure. So it seems like the ball will stay here with still no Justin Brownlee here. Dwight Ramos doing everything he possibly can, and the follow-up there is good for Scotty Thompson.
Someone who Rain has picked out earlier in this quarter that she would like to see step up was Scotty Thompson as well.
Fingers crossed. Never say die. Good defense there, but better offense on the side of Chinese Taipei. Lin gets that one in and bumps up his total to 11 points. And you can see the adjustment here on the defensive end for Chinese Taipei. They brought in Mohamed Gadiaga to work on Dwight Ramos.
On that last play, Scotty Thompson drawing in the defense and then feeding it to Junmar, working wonders for them. That drive and kick or drive and drop action.
And can I just say, to all the fans of Kiang Chinlin, I am absolutely sorry. He is popping off right now. I think I sparked something in him. I don't know if he can hear this broadcast. But suddenly, that shot looked so good. I wish we could see it on the replay, but that shot was so far. And he had a hand in his face and all.
Yep.
Crazy.
We mentioned that a lot of his points came from the line earlier on, and I think seeing those shots go in, like you said, it got him going. All it takes is seeing one shot go in, and then the rest will start to flow.
And regardless of where it comes from, as you mentioned, Melissa, I mean, it doesn't even have to be off of a field goal. Sometimes you just literally need to see one go in.
Yeah.
Qiambao powering his way through. And he attracts the contact there. Qiambao, also one of the young guns here for Gilas Pilipinas.
Bright future ahead for KQ.
He misses the shot there and now has to earn it from the line, hoping to chip down this lead by Chinese Taipei, which they've honestly built since the very first quarter.
Yep.
The very first few minutes of the first quarter.
As soon as the Philippines slowly chipping away at that lead, Chinese Taipei comes back with a huge bang just to gain them that lead or that cushion. And I don't think they want to risk it. I don't think they want to risk it getting too close because, again, that's where the momentum shifts happen.
True. But then, again, on paper, the Philippines should be the better team here. It's just everything working for Chinese Taipei. Ooh, Scotty with the Pinoy step. That was beautiful there for Thompson. He got his defender flying. Look at that fake. And the reverse layup for Scotty.
And that's also knowing your personnel. The team knew Scotty was just going to take off running, knowing he's a great player in transition. So that was beautifully executed by the Philippines.
True. And I think that also speaks on what you mentioned, Melissa. I mean, even if these players haven't played together in a long time, going against each other, I mean, I'm sure the opponents of Scotty have had to watch that over and over again during film viewing. Scotty Thompson just breaking away, so much foot speed, so much energy. And as I mentioned, I mean, Scotty is one of those players that will really influence, the pace of the game. And right now, it's been working, but not really enough yet to chip away this 10-point advantage by Chinese Taipei.
If Chinese Taipei doesn't make too many mistakes in the remainder of this game, the Philippines is going to have to find a way to force stops, because that's the only way they're going to come back in this game. They could score all they want, but if they can't force Chinese Taipei to some stops, they're still going to have this lead.
Right now, the back and forth is benefiting Chinese Taipei as we're down to a minute remaining in this third quarter, a 10-point advantage for the white shirts. And a quick foul there called against Oftana. Oftana has also been quiet this game, no?
Yeah. Very
Calvin
true.
Oftana,
We have
2 out of 8, 1 out of 6 from the 3-point range. And he's known to be a shooter, so something is in the water here.
Yeah. Yep. And sometimes it's like that. Certain games you'll be top scorer, but then depending on the opposing team's playing style, sometimes your personal playing style doesn't match in that system or for that game plan. That could be perhaps why we're seeing some of the usual top scorers of the Philippines kind of quiet here in this game today.
And to be fair, I mean, if you're in a team filled with superstars, you really have to, bring your ego down and play the role that was given to you. So at least there's that level of adjustment there for the superstars here of the Philippines, as AJ Edu is able to sink that one in after the second attempt.
Another great feed from Scotty Thompson. Scotty now with 3 assists here in this game today.
Follow-up attempt is good here on the side of Chinese Taipei. That's going to be credited to Cheng. Scotty Thompson. See, our picks have been performing here. Scotty Thompson, perfect on the 2-point range. Even in shots like that where you think it's a 50-50 ball, somehow falls in for Thompson. And prior to Scotty popping off, it was Dwight.
All it takes is one player, and like I said, that energy is contagious. So in this second half, it was Dwight, and now we see Scotty as well getting hot.
And this is so important because Justin Brownlee hasn't seen action here, or at least hasn't made an impact here in the third quarter. It's really been the other players, which is exactly what we needed from the Philippines. We needed someone to step up other than Justin Brownlee. And so far, it's been Scotty and Dwight.
I'm pretty sure we sounded like a broken record in the first half by saying more players needed to step up for the Philippines.
Justin Brownlee. Over and over and over again. So it seems like there's a discussion if that foul will be called because it was reaching the end of regulation. So they're going to have to review that to see if a final foul will be called against the Philippines or if we're going to head on over to the fourth quarter. So many fans of the Philippines there in Saudi Arabia. Again, this is the FIBA Asia Cup being held at Saudi Arabia. This is Group D, the first game of these two squads. And if you want to catch this game, it is live on the Pilipinas Live app, One Sports, One Sports Plus, and the PBA Rush. Again, this is the chat party presented by Smart. So this is your avenue to let out your thoughts. If your friends are all asleep, message here. Because it is 3 a.m. in both Chinese Taipei and the Philippines. So I'm sure there are a lot of sleeping basketball fans. So let it all out here.
And we'd also like to invite everyone to follow our socials and follow the tournament on Instagram at Asia Cup and also the FIBA profile at FIBA. And if you're going to post, we invite you to use the hashtag Asia Cup, because it's a long tournament ahead, a lot of good games to be played. I know what I'm definitely doing for the next week. Basketball 24/7.
Absolutely. So they are reviewing that last call. And I think on the game clock, I don't know if you can see it very well, Melissa. It's 0.8 remaining when everything happened.
I do see that.
So it might be called, since there was time remaining, our referees are trying to clarify this final sequence of the third quarter. (71-62), a 9-point advantage here for Chinese Taipei. And that will be free throws here.
Yep, heading to the line.
So that's going to be free throws from their top scorer, Yi Chun Chen, who continues to add to his tally, a chance to score 25 here at the end of the third quarter.
For those of you who are here in this chat party, we want to hear from you. I'm curious, what do you think Ying Chun Chin will end up with? What is his stat line at the end of this game?
Final tally.
Me and Rain already predicted. Yeah, we predicted 35 points.
35.
See how close we get. Yep.
No, you should pick a different number. I said 35. We have to see who's
true.
closer.
I think I said 30 easy. I'll say 30. I'll say 32.
Okay. 32 or 35. Let's see what the actual tally is going to be. Oh, but Yi Chun Chen actually took one free throw, so it seems like there was a technical, if I'm not mistaken, Melissa.
Yeah, it seems that way.
So this is actually for the last call.
Yes, that free throw from Ying Chun Chin was for that technical call.
So this is going to be the actual free throws here for Shang Chun Chen. 71-62. 24 points is the official count for Yi Chun Chen at the end of the third quarter. So they are trying to add some time on the clock because there was a little bit remaining here. I think that's what they're trying to fix before the free throws of Cheng.
Now, in basketball, every second counts down to the 0.05 second, like 0.01.
True. Especially in a game that feels like it's going to end up down the wire. Because, I mean, right now, the lead is at 9. But you could see in the second quarter how quickly the Philippines chipped away on that lead for Chinese Taipei. So really, 10 minutes is nothing in terms of
Yeah.
leads here. So they are trying to fix the
Still
game clock. I think it
adjusting.
was 0.8, right? 0.8 is what they're trying to achieve here. There you go. Was Dwight Ramos sitting on the floor?
Was he? I didn't see. Was he?
I saw him standing up. I don't know if he was tying his shoelaces, but it's so funny if he was sitting on the floor. He's
Hey,
like,
get
what's
all
the
the rest
hold
you
up,
can get."
guys?
Yep. Get all the rest you can get. That's a free timeout right there.
Oh, and the stoppage of time kind of affected that first free throw. So a chance to extend this to a 10-point lead. Yes! Chinese Taipei does that. Cheng was able to sink that free throw in, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter. Official tally at the end is 72-62.
And a tightly contested quarter it was. Chinese Taipei scoring 30 points there. The Philippines 28.
And again,
if you break down the quarter scoring, actually quarter 2 and quarter 3, there was only a 2 or 3 point differential between the two teams. It all goes back to that first quarter where Chinese Taipei was able to build up that lead. That's where the Philippines is struggling to still come back in this game.
And Melissa, I think also the timing of these scores, because as you see reflected on our statistics, it may be a 2-point advantage for one team or the other, but then these are also coming off of runs. So there are times that the lead gets cut down to 4 and then it balloons to 10. So even if on the stat sheet it reflects just a 2-point deficit between these two quarters, you could also see how momentum was shifting from one side to the other.
You're absolutely right, Rain. And that comes in part by each players having their spurts and when they are hot. I'm still waiting for the player that is going to get hot and stay hot for the remainder of this game. It's kind of been a touch and go.
Yeah, because Yi Chung-chen also kind of slowed down a little bit in the third quarter, even Justin Brownlee. So you could see the other players having the opportunity to step up. Now the question is, as you mentioned, Melissa, who's going to sustain it? So for our fans in the chat, there's going to be 2 questions that we're going to pose on you. First is, who do you think is going to continue to stay hot in the fourth period, which is going to be absolutely crucial in a game that feels like it's going to go down the wire? Plus, how much scoring do you think is left in Yi Chung-chen? He's got 24 right now. Melissa's guess is 32. My guess is 35. We'll see whoever gets closer.
Yeah. But KQ starting the quarter strong.
Kevin Kiambao, also one of the younger players here for the Philippines. Robert Hinton with the ball. He is also a young gun. Oh, that looked like it was going to go in. Gilbeck just had a hand on that.
And going back to KQ's early 3-point shot, if you're the Philippines, you want to come into this fourth quarter leave everything on the court, because time is not on your side now that we're in the final quarter of this game.
True. Did you see that great tap there by Robert Hinton? I mean, you can see he's leaving it all on the floor.
Yep. I just knew when I saw it, when I watched it, I was like, Rain's gonna say something. Her favorite player. I was like,
I'm a fan. So we are back in the ball game. A little bit of technical difficulties on the side of FIBA, but there is about 9 minutes here in our fourth and final quarter. Official tally right now is at 73-65. So just an 8-point advantage here on the side of Chinese Taipei. A lot of fans here in our chat cheering, of course, for Gilas Pilipinas. A lot of Pinoys here staying up late at 3 in the morning.
Those
On a
are
Tuesday,
diehard fans. Yep, diehard fans.
sorry,
no matter the
it's
time,
Wednesday.
day. Yeah, it's true. No matter the
It's a
time or
Wednesday.
day, they're up to support their team.
Yeah, but right now, Gilas Pilipinas struggling to eliminate this lead. The first time they led was the last time they led in the first sequence of the Philippines. So you can see here, Chinese Taipei just absolutely playing beautiful basketball, taking care of their leads one way or the other, which is why they are at a 8-point advantage.
One thing I like that Chinese Taipei has been doing, and we mentioned it at halftime, they're scoring from multiple spots on the court. So they're finding their shots on the outside. They're also dominating in the paint. Very dispersed play for them.
And it also speaks of the personnel that Chinese Taipei has, because they have a lot of big-bodied bigs that will fight down under, but then they also have a lot of shooters who have found their touch here early in this ball game.
And teams like that are so much harder to guard because no matter where they are on the court, you know they're a threat.
Definitely forward pass there. And the shot falls in for Gariaga. And Melissa, do you think this is a strategy for the Philippines to kind of slow down the pace of the game?
I do think so. It seems that way from the jump ball. They've been playing a little slower than I've seen them play in the past. I do think there's a strategic aspect to that.
And it seems like they do get their shots in every time they aren't forcing the basketball. Great defensive stop there by AJ Edu. They need a lot more of those if they want to catch up in today's matchup. But Chinese Taipei really giving them the smallest of openings there as another shot falls in. And this time that's going to be for Qian Haoma.
And just unselfish play by Chinese Taipei. Gariaga could have easily took that shot himself. He was kind of open, but he saw that extra pass.
And you can see on your screens the rebounding tally clearly favoring the Philippines, but that's also because the Philippines have been missing a lot of their shots, and a lot of these rebounds are coming from the O-boards. 19-24 is the count of the Philippines. 19 offensive rebounds and 24 defensive rebounds. So a lot of these shots have been finding the end of the rim, which is why the players are able to track it down.
Yep. And right now the Philippines actively trying to go back to Justin Brownlee, but Chinese Taipei doing a great job at making it difficult to get the entry pass to him.
Just a 9-point advantage here for Chinese Taipei. We're almost at the half-point mark here in the fourth quarter. Dwight Ramos getting ready to check in. So far, it's been just the three of them and quite For Justin Brownlee, Scotty Thompson, and Dwight Ramos, in all honesty, that's been the game so far for Gilas. AJ Edu, Kevin Kiambao, 4 seconds on the shot clock. Step back 3 is good for Kevin Kiambao.
KQ having a great showing here in the fourth quarter. That's his second 3-point shot.
And
He's still got some fight left in him.
It's a 6-point lead here for Chinese Taipei. And there's a term here in the Philippines for all of our viewers from abroad that we call magic bunot, which means you are a player that was picked off of the bench and suddenly you perform ice cold, not a lot of time, but then quality minutes being played. And that's exactly what Kevin Kiambao is bringing to Gilas Pilipinas.
Rain, I learn something new every day. I did not know that term either. So thank you.
That's crazy. But yes, Kevin Kiambao is the magic bunot so far. He has cut the lead down to 6 after that 3-point shot. 4:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Of course, the best player of Chinese Taipei at the buzzer. I am a huge fan of this guy.
Yep.
What a shot there for Yi Chung Chen.
And not just only at the buzzer, with AJ Edu's hand straight up, contesting to shoot over the wingspan of AJ Edu. That's a tough task.
And that was already a mismatch there. But look at that. He made it look so easy. Ying Chun Chen. What a shot. What a shooter. 4 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter, 83-74. And we are here at the chat party powered by Smart. But if you want to watch our game here between Chinese Taipei and the Philippines in the FIBA AsiaCup, you can watch it on One Sports Plus, PBA Rush, and of course the Filipinas Live app. And you want to watch these last 4 minutes because so far it's been hotly contested.
Anything can happen. 4 minutes in basketball time is a long time. However, when you're playing to catch up, there's very little room for error. So the Philippines has to be very efficient, very effective here in these last 4 minutes.
And Melissa, you played basketball. Do you think that, this is the time that you have to go to Justin Brownlee? Because, so far, he has been consistent, at least in the first 2 quarters, spurts in the third, but then is this the time for Justin Brownlee to take over?
Honestly, yes, but it doesn't have to be Justin Brownlee. We've seen KQ is stepping it up too. Honestly, Chinese Taipei is doing an excellent job at guarding Brownlee. So that's when your other 4 players on the court could take over as well. You need that unsung hero to step up now.
And so far, it has been Kiambao. But Ying Chun Chen, really so much fight in him, absorbing the contact and now going up to the line. Look at that. Body and all. Still really trying to get that contact.
Yep. Chris Newsome has struggled with fouls all game long. With that, he's going to be sent back to the bench.
Scotty Thompson checking in. Scotty was hot towards the end of the third quarter. So let's see if he can bring that same intensity that we can all expect from Thompson. And again, as we mentioned here, the last 3 matchups between these 2 teams, both of the games won were won by the Philippines prior to that Feb 2025 match between Chinese Taipei and the Philippines in the FIBA Asia Cup 2025 qualifiers, where Chinese Taipei shocked everyone and won against the higher ranked Philippines 91-84. And right now, it seems like it's the same story here, just won in a different way.
Yep. And this game means a lot to Chinese Taipei because people might say that that game in the qualifiers was a fluke because that was their first win against the Philippines in years, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
But they're proving today that it wasn't a fluke with the way they're playing right now. They've held the lead this whole entire game. Their energy has not dropped.
Yep.
And they're just showing they deserve the respect and that they're a team to contend with in this group phase.
And again, both of these teams are part of Group D, along with New Zealand and Iraq. New Zealand won against Iraq earlier today, 100-78. So whoever wins here will have such a good standing coming into that game against New Zealand.
Yep.
And winning in such a way for either of these squads that are playing right now should be a huge confidence booster. I mean, Chinese Taipei, if they win, they were able to hold on to the lead, really, put the Philippines in a certain box. But if the Philippines wins here, they're coming from a comeback. So, interesting final 2:46 remaining in this fourth period.
And I just feel this. I feel this type of energy from Chinese Taipei that they want to win in a convincing manner. They don't want it to be very close. They want to have a decent sized lead. Kind of like a statement early as now in this tournament. Yep.
And again, both of these teams did not make it to the playoffs in 2022. So you can really see the aggressiveness and the hunger here. Oh, but a little too much aggressiveness there against Junmar Fajardo, who was called an offensive foul in that last sequence.
See, who was that? I didn't quite see it. Who was that drew the offensive foul? Did you see, Rain?
Junmar Fajardo fouled Yi Chun-chen.
That's what I thought. I saw Ying Chun-chen on the floor. Yep. Speaking of, let's check in on Ying Chun-chen.
I was just about to say he's at 31.
31.
In all honesty,
We're close.
I think he's going to surpass both our guesses.
We'll see.
By the way he's playing
in 2 minutes, we'll know.
86-76 is our score. A 10-point advantage here by Chinese Taipei. Step back J, no good there for Ying Chun-chen. And there was a quick foul there against Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, the sense of urgency from Scotty Thompson trying to push the ball because time is not on their side. 10-point deficit with just 2 minutes left.
And all these stoppages will benefit the Philippines because they're able to set their plays better. They're able to get points if they go on the free throw line without having to burn any of the time.
Yep. Stopping the clock will be their best friend.
So Chinese Taipei needs to take care of that as we're down to our final 2 minutes of this matchup. But a quick timeout called here by the Philippines. A 10-point advantage for Chinese Taipei. This lead ballooned to as much as 17.
Yep,
and right now, let's take a look at a little bit of the stats.
Yep. Philippines has found ways to try and chip away at that lead, but Chinese Taipei doing a great job at not letting them.
And the Philippines has led for a total of 11 seconds. That's how
And that was at
dominant
the
Chinese Taipei.
very
Yeah,
beginning.
at the very beginning.
Yep.
At the very beginning, because they got the first basket in. But all the rest, it has been Chinese Taipei here. I mean, Chinese Taipei has been shooting quite uncontrollably in the three-point area because they are at 42%. Gilas Pilipinas is only at 23, and I think that was the biggest difference maker. Don't you think, Melissa?
Yeah, I agree completely. And looking at our game leaders right now as well, as far as efficiency, Ying Chun-chin at a plus 27 and Scotty Thompson at plus 21.
So
And
these
we've
two
been fans of
vets
Ying
have been going
Chun-chin
back
since the
and forth.
beginning. Yeah.
This has been a back and forth between these two guards here. Different playing styles, but both effective in our matchup today. Dwight gets that jumper in. We need a little bit more of those and a little quicker because time is not our friend at the moment. 8-point advantage here by Chinese Taipei. 150 remaining in the fourth period. And there was a foul called against the Philippines in that drive by Robert Hinton. Was that a mini Pinoy step or am I just overanalyzing it? Look at that. That was
because he went up with it 1st and then
There's a mini Pinoy step.
Or maybe you just want it to be because you're a fan of Hinton.
I think it's more of that. I think so too. First attempt is good by Hinton. 146 remaining here. Again, Chinese Taipei has held on to this lead since the beginning of this matchup. Back to 10 points here. Dwight hesitated, kicked it over to Kiambao, and the defense was so absorbed in what Dwight was doing that they left the open man in Kiambao in the corner. 7-point advantage here by Chinese Taipei. They go over the Gildek, and that has been effective all game long.
And in the last minute of this game, we'd just like to welcome Ying to the MVP tier of the YouTube membership. Thank you so much for your support and enjoying the benefits of exclusive FIBA YouTube content. So shout out to Ying watching right now.
Thank you for supporting Ying.
Ooh.
Oh, what a shot there by Gilbeck. Really putting an exclamation point on that. He has been perfect. Right? Yeah, he's 4 out of 4. 8 out of 10 from the free throw line. And Junmar was just a step too late there. Gilbeck recognizing the mismatch on that switch. Yeah.
A great closer for Gilbeck as he heads to the bench now. What a way to go out of the game. And like you said, just to put that exclamation point.
Yep. Just dropping a highlight play, you know, at the end.
Before I go sit the bench. Yeah.
Ramos and the rest of the Philippines trying to play catch up here. Oh, but a good defense stop there. Defensive stop. And if I'm not mistaken, both the Hinton brothers are in now, right? Adam and Robert.
Yep. We've seen a lot of Robert Excited to see more of Adam in the future games.
Mm-hmm. And that's not going to help the case of the Philippines here. Dwight Ramos misses his first shot. So he splits the free throw there. 8-point game here. Just 3 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock.
Yep, and Chinese Taipei looking like they're just going to run time off of the clock.
No way! That shot still falls in! What a shot there by Chen! Again, another basket at the end.
Yep.
And a counter there by Scotty Thompson, but it's far too late. Ying Chun Chen and the rest of Chinese Taipei gets a huge win here to start off their FIBA Asia Cup campaign against the Philippines in Group D. What a game there, Melissa. What a game by Yi Chung Chen, who ends with 34 points.
Ooh, right in between what me and you had guessed. He had a standout game today, and Chinese Taipei, it was their game to take from the beginning. Again, they played beautiful basketball. They sustained through all 4 quarters. And Chinese Taipei, there's no better way you want to start this group phase of the Asia Cup.
And that's going to put them at a clear advantage, giving them a 1-0 standing. So it's going to be New Zealand and Chinese Taipei at the top of the standings. Meanwhile, Iraq and the Philippines have both absorbed their first loss here in the FIBA Asia Cup 2025. Again, these games are held in Saudi Arabia. And if you want to catch the games live, they are on One Sports Plus, and PBA Rush and the Pilipinas Live app. But what a game there. That was beautiful basketball being played by Chinese Taipei. Again, we mentioned this so many times, Melissa, how they really trusted their system. Even when the deficit was slowly being taken away by the Philippines, you could really see the dedication and the trust of Chinese Taipei on their coach.
Yes, and it was an overall team win, but as we've been preaching all night long, Ying Chun Chin was the player of this game for Chinese Taipei. He led in efficiency, points, and also steals for Chinese Taipei tonight.
Again, just the final stat line here for Ying Chun Chen: 34 points off of 10 shots and 17 attempts from the field goal. He also had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. What a game there for Ying Chun Chen, as well as, you know, the rest of Chinese Taipei. Ting Chien Lin also had 14 points. Robert Hinton also had 14. Brandon Gilbeck, perfect from the field with 16 points. An excellent game there for Chinese Taipei. But right now, the Philippines in dangerous territory if they want to continue their campaign here in the FIBA Asia Cup. Again, Chinese Taipei and New Zealand at the top of Group D. But to all of our fans, thank you for staying up with us. It's already 4 a.m. A lot of you guys have work tomorrow, so we shall end our broadcast. Thank you, everybody. My name is Rain Tigzon.
And I'm Melissa Newsome. Thank you so much for joining us on the Smart Cast tonight.
Thank you, everybody, for joining our chat party powered by Smart, and we hope to see you all again. Thank you, everyone.